4,838 was the last one I signed. 4,838. So, not a lot of surfboards as far as shapers go, but probably the most wood boards ever made, I would say. I'm Danny Hess, wooden surfboard shaper from San Francisco, where I have my wood shop, build boards, and surf. I've been building boards up there in San Francisco, where I started building wood boards, since 2000. So I've been building wood boards in San Francisco since then, 25 years. I decided to start building wood surfboards because I was really focused on sustainable design and building. I was doing construction and remodels, and I had my contractor's license, and I was taking on big construction projects. So I was trying to evolve and do things as sustainably as possible and in all facets of construction. And so I wanted to integrate that philosophy into my surfboards. And I had been building foam boards, and I just wanted to pursue a way of building a surfboard that was going to last far longer and be built out of far more sustainable material. I found wood, and I built everything in my life out of wood, and I have since I started learning how to build. And I find that it's a material that just humans can't replicate. It's just aesthetically the most beautiful thing that you can really build anything out of. It has a flex and a adaptability and a resonance to it that no synthetic material really accomplishes. For me, foam just feels plastic. You surf a piece of wood, it flexes, it has a resonance, it doesn't waste your energy that you put into it. It flexes and springs back, so they just have a life to them that is exactly that. It's alive, and you can manipulate the wood and use it in certain ways that really accentuate that. And I feel like it allows me to not just shape a chunk of foam and hope the glass puts the flex into it. You can engineer the surfboard from within and join all the parts together and put all the components together and create hollow areas and create skin thicknesses and different flex properties in different parts of the board that just allow them to perform way different and just be more efficient and feel just more intuitive. The first thing people tell me when they get on them is how fast they are, and I feel like that comes from them just not wasting speed. They're not wasting energy that you're pushing into them because they're flexing. They're not torsional flex, they're flexing as one unison, all the weight's on the perimeter, so they carry that weight at the water line, and then they want to roll onto the next water line. Especially in guns, it translates insane. Plus, I just love, wood you can manipulate in so many different ways and just celebrate the look of it. Like that piece of walnut was a walnut tree in the Central Valley of California 5 years ago, and then was milled into slabs and then has a second life as a surfboard for however long until Cliff breaks it at Jaws. And then this was a Polonia tree, and also in the Central Valley, it was a windbreak, and they brought that down, and you'd surf it for another 20 years. I just love that idea. First one. This thing is heavy as shit. But it works. It flies, Oh, stop! Throw a rope!
Okay, got it.
Oh, you're coming. So this one, my very first one, 2000, I made this, and probably took me 180 hours to build it over a course of a year in my garage. And it was a journey, but it ended up working. It's kind of an elf shoe. It's heavy as shit. It's kind of a toad, but man, you get it going and it flies. I cut the fins off and changed them probably like 10 times. But this fin setup actually worked really well. It's like a quad twinser? I don't even know. But it's made out of...
Quadser?
Quadser? It's a quadser. And actually I hadn't pulled it out of the rafters in like 20 years, but I look at them like, I should make a quadser like that. Probably work insane. But I hand milled all this Amapola, Plumajillo, sugar pine, hand milled it in my shop at the time to create all the parts. But the fundamentals of the concept are right there. Like I bent laminated the first rails. It was definitely a breakthrough and taught me a lot and showed me that I could build a wood surfboard. And definitely ignited the passion to like build thousands more. Yeah. You know, the materials just, I was focused on the concept and just proving I could build the construction, so I wasn't as focused on the materials. So now they've just evolved so much and I can drop the weight by just being really picky about the wood that goes into it, where the wood is. Like this one had a rib structure, so it's like a fish scale. There's a stringer that's like 1/4 inch wide. There's these fish scale ribs like that, and that just makes them really rigid. They're like locked up like a torsion box. And then in contrast, this is like the up-to-date newer version concept where it's like this thing probably weighs 6 pounds right now, 5.5 pounds, and once I shape the rails out, it'll be 5, and then I'll glass it and it'll be 6. So it's light as a normal board, but if not lighter. But they've evolved. Like I'm using different materials. The poplar cork rail combination lets the rails flex. There's an internal frame that's made out of recycled EPS foam, so it still has the same sort of concept structure, but they're like half hollow on the inside, depending on the shape. 4,838 was the last one I signed. 4,828. So, not a lot of surfboards as far as shapers go, but probably the most wood boards ever made, I would say.
That's always been the joke with myself. I'm like, fuck, maybe I should have been a regular player.
This guy, I've been riding a lot of, I really love those, looking back at those old Pat Curran, like, Waimea guns, and just those lines on them, the full nose, the wide point way forward, Makaha style guns. And I've been really loving the way those lines look, just aesthetically, and wanting to integrate that into a shape, but also a shape that was super versatile, a board that can surf in everything from like 2 foot to 20 foot surf. So this is like, I call them kind of glider guns. They're full nose, but they have gun rocker, gun foil, and they're made to, I'll surf this at big middle peak, like when middle peak's like 3 to 4 times overhead and you're taking off half mile out to sea and you just need to get in, and it's like, we'll make it down the face, but then the wave's a total burger and you just want to do big arcing curves and you can just run it all the way through into cowls. So it's just like super specified but super versatile. I love this thing. I buckled it at Mavs some years ago. And then this one is like like one of my classic Mavs guns, just 10-2, made to get in and just run for the cover. Just get you down the line and goes fast. It's not made for, it's not a turning gun, it's just made to run and paddle in. It's 10-2, 21 1/4, 3.5. With that little baby swallow that kind of loosens them up. When you're going 30 miles an hour, you can do swooping big arcs. But this is going home with Cliff. I loved how he's been just surfing Jaws, just really committed. I think he told me he got 16 huge waves there this winter. which is wow. And he has a gun like a 9.4, but it's just not big enough for there. I don't believe he thinks it is, but this is much more like get in, turn bottom, turn mid face, and backdoor jaws, which I want nothing to do with, but I would love to see him. This has been my mouse gun for a few years now, and I love this thing. So it's tried and tested.
Dude, it looks brand new.
Yeah, it's probably been surfed probably 100 times, 150 times at Mavs and other spots north of Santa Cruz. It's a magic one, so I want it to go to where it really needs to be, which is, I mean, is there any other wave more intense than Jaws? Probably not. I made it for myself for a boat trip I was doing with this guy, Dan and Timo, and I made like a whole bunch of.
It's pretty cool.
And I can't remember. I think I made you a 5'10" and like a 5'8" or something, and then I pulled all the boards out of the bag and go, yeah, this is the one.
Yeah, so I something came up and I watched that footage again, and I was tripping out, and it reminded me that I don't know if I ever told you guys, but that those couple of waves, there were two specific waves that day, were
Like behind the foam ball.
well, what it was is that I'd been there like 10 years before that, and I was with Sonny Garcia, and I got one of the waves of the day, and I was super, super deep, and I jumped off, and I don't think I could have made it, but from the footage, it looks like I jump off on a 15-second barrel, like I just like at the beginning of the barrel just jump off, like the way the angle was. And I beat myself up about it for 10 years because like we all went back and watched it, and it was just like, why did you jump off? And so I had been dreaming of that and like wanting to go back there to redeem myself for 10 years. And it's always been like Rags writes, like I have to go back there. I have to go back and get it and get it good. And so like that was like partially a result of blowing it super hard, which has been like the case for me is like I'll go surf somewhere and there will be an opportunity and I'll you know blow chunks, and then I'm like, okay, the next one that comes, I'm not doing that. Like I'm gonna go, like if I pulled back or if I just took the wrong line, I'll be like, I am not doing that again. Like I don't care how hard I eat shit, like it is on right now. And so you guys didn't know that, but I was like, let's go to Rags. Let's go to Rags. It's the best wave I've ever seen. And we got there and there's surf, and I'm just like, it is on right now.
Like even surf, like a scary surf. That's terrifying.
I just feel like that material allowed you to probably what you couldn't do on that day.
Yeah.
With Sunny, that allowed you, because that was crazy, because it was the foam ball was trying to bump you off.
Yeah.
And you're just like.
And you're behind it.
Yeah.
I was paddling out when you caught that wave, and I was looking into the barrel and I couldn't see you.
Yeah.
For a large portion of it.
The bigger one.
The big one.
The bigger one, yeah.
Because you were behind, like, and there's, you could see like the top of your head in the foam ball, and then the exit was like another 15 feet down the line. And you was like over the top of that thing, like compressed over the top of it, and then
that day was insane.
Yeah.
I'd been dreaming of that day for 10 years or whatever it was. I don't know. So what year was that board made in?
'07.
So
What, so like 2008?
yeah, so
Probably.
so 2008, and
when we went. Yeah.
when I went to Indo on that trip, it was, I think, 10 years before that.
Wow.
Because 98, that would have been a year after I was out of high school, and it was one of my first big trips I got invited on. It was Sonny, Poncho, Healy when he was like this big, and yeah, we got it, but I didn't, I hadn't surfed waves like that much, so I was still figuring it out. I mean, because that's the thing is when you, for me anyways, it's like you can know a session's amazing, but it takes a while to know it was like one of the best sessions of your life, like it takes 10 years to look back and go,
Yeah.
that was like, that's never going to happen again. Like, that's out of control.
It's interesting though that all those things came together, and in reality, that board made it possible
Yeah.
for that to happen.
Yeah.
Because it was very distinct, that line, and you needed all of it.
Yeah.
All of it. You needed it to be a quad. You needed it to be that composition of a board, just to like, because that was fucked up.
And the turn you did as you exited was
That was so fun.
down.
Yeah, there's definitely something to say for boards that have a little bit more weight because like the foam ball is such a fickle thing to deal with, and it's like almost impossible to, you don't know what's going to happen. It can just swallow you or whatever. But I've found that bigger boards and a little bit heavier boards, so that board's not bigger, but it's a little heavier.
Yeah,
like you have a better chance because your momentum, you have a better chance of like bouncing over it than you do on a light short board. You're just like boom, boom, and you just, before you even know it, you're just, underwater. But on a board with a little bit of weight to it, you can like kind of skip over the top of it a little bit.
I found too, like these, I don't know. I found that since all the weight is in the rail, because that's where all the wood is, since the weight isn't just evenly distributed in the foam, the weight is here. That helps the rail just like hold in the face, especially on riding big boards like guns. The weight being on the perimeter of the board lets it roll on the rail, and then the rail is able to penetrate at speed because the density is there.
What's the composition of the board?
This one is this was like a crazy step in the evolution. Like he was pushing me to make them like light as possible. And we made some that were really light, and they just exploded.
Yeah.
But
does
it have foam in it?
This one has like the perimeter frame out of poplar and cork. Deck this is poplar, and then there's a recycled EPS frame on the inside of this, so it's like hollow to here, and then there's like a V panel of foam here that for compression of your foot, and then another one like this.
Oh, I thought the whole thing was foam inside.
No. It's like mostly, this was probably 60% hollow inside.
Yeah.
And then the deck and bottom are vacuum molded.
Yeah. This thing, everything about this board looks good.
I don't even make that model anymore. That was like your signature sort of.
Let's relaunch it.
I didn't think we ever came up with a name for it. Yeah. I think we made a couple after this that were double bump with a tighter little swallow.
Mm-hmm.
Those work.
This one right here, like, sometimes it's been however many years, like almost 20 years or something. Is it, wait, you said
07 I made it, so geez, 18 years.
Yeah.
That board.
And you could easily look at a board that old and be like, oh, things have changed and it's a little dated. And this board looks perfect still,
Yeah.
18 years old.
Whereas this one looks a little dated.
That one looks a little dated.